I thought Oprah was fine. You know, she won't come out. Gail's on.
I watch her.
Yeah. You know, and like, she won't come out.
Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining us here at the LOFT Garden Party. Now let me just tell you that the LOFT's Board of Directors is talented and varied in their talents and skill sets. One of our board members, is that not on? I'll get closer. One of our board members, Fran Sisco, who is an accountant by day, but by night, she is a transgendered comedy person. And let's give it a hand for Fran Sisco.
Thank you, David. What a great day. Give it up for yourselves for coming out to this wonderful garden party. Is this great or what? Oh my God, I'm so glad to be here. I'm transgender, I have a penis, and I like women. Even Hallmark doesn't have a card for that. You know, I love being transgender. My wife hates it. In fact, she doesn't like what I was wearing before. I was stretching it out on her. You know, and I love to be Italian, too. I'm Italian. It's a little bit about me. But even if I transition almost all the way to female, I'm not giving up my brajol. My mom is a little confused to begin with. She's 85, has a little dementia, and this, she says, has thrown her over the physical cliff. The other day, she said to me, I walked into the house, and she said, "You look different." I said, and? She says, "Are you pregnant?" I said, "Mom, I can't be pregnant." She says, "Oh, that's right, you're too old." You know, I'm confused too. You know, you think you're confused, I'm confused. When I color my hair, am I allowed to use Just for Men?
No.
No, right? And some things about being transgender are really fun and enlivening. And I want to really thank the LOFT for allowing me to express myself, and sometimes through open mics and stuff like that. One thing about being transgender is, as a woman, I feel younger. I love when people call me Miss. Do you girls like when they call you Miss instead of ma'am? So I'm at CVS, the cashiers are at the counter, I'm online, she's calling Miss, Miss, Miss. I'm not paying attention, I'm doing my emails. Guy behind me taps me on the shoulder and says, "Miss, they're calling you." I said, "Oh my God, he thinks I'm a young girl. The cashier thinks I'm a young girl. The whole store thinks I'm a young girl. This is fantastic." I'm all excited. I run up to the counter. As I got up to the counter, she says, "Oh," because she saw the wrinkles on my face. She said, "CVS card, ma'am?" It deflated me so much, I accidentally went into my male voice and I said, "Here you go." She went, "Oh, thanks, sir." So I went from Miss to ma'am to sir, all in 2 minutes. But as I was leaving, I got the receipt, and the receipt said $2 off tampons, so I felt good. You know, I had a little chit sheet here, because I put a different order to some of these jokes, so I wanted to kind of stick to the order. It's the left brain side, the male side, the analytical side. But then there's the female side, the more sensitive side, the more relationship-oriented side. And I know these gender roles are not cast in stone, especially in the LGBT community, right? But there's one thing about being a woman that I really admire and emulate, is organization and neatness. When I see women look at something that fell on the floor, like a crumb, I notice that they go like this. They wet their tongue, they go over to it, they pick it up, and then they walk over to the garbage pail and throw that crumb out. It's amazing. how neat and clean they are. Me, on the other hand, as a man, I wouldn't do that. Before, I still probably won't do that. Burnt piece of toast, piece falls on the floor. If it's a black and white tile floor, I kick it over to the black tile. You know, but now what I'm trying to do is do what the female does. So the other day that happened, I went over, it was about the size of a part of a pinky. I went over, I pick it up, I'm on my way over to the garbage pail, I look at it, perfectly good piece of bread. Who's gonna know? You know, this who's gonna know thing is when I'm in the bathroom, if it's a tight bathroom, like on a plane, I was on a plane from Chicago, you get in the bathroom, you got that latch, you know, to do. I'm looking down, I had a dress on like this. I know, I gotta turn around. First I gotta put paper down. I gotta turn around, I gotta pull my pantyhose down, pull my cincher down, all of that stuff. I said, you know what? Who's gonna know? You know, and go the guy way. My mom has been okay with this, actually, as is all my family and all my friends, and especially my daughter Kelly has been great. She's, yay, Kelly! Give it up for Kelly right here. Look at this. She's doing the video of me, my obsessiveness about video. So when I was first transitioning 2 years ago, Kelly said, "I'll help you get shoes." I needed those wide shoes. We went out to Marshall's down in Pelham, big store. She runs in. She's at the back of the store. At the back of the store, she's looking at the assortment. She finds him. She yells out, you know, and I want to pass as a girl all the time. She yells out, "Dad! Dad!" I'm going like, oh no, they're going to know I'm a man, you know? So they saw me, you know, at the distance. They said, "Oh, that's okay." They gave me the thumbs up. They said, "That's all right. You don't need to be embarrassed." One of them walked over to me, and she said, "Don't be red. Don't be embarrassed. Here at Marshall's, everything is irregular."
Jones Beach.
The difference between a transsexual and a transgender person is very confusing. The difference between a transsexual woman is that she has no balls. A transgender woman has big ones. And you know, I saw my friend Jack the other day. Some people that I haven't seen as a female yet, so he didn't recognize me. I wasn't thinking about that. Jack, it's me. How are you? How you been? He said, "Do I know you?" I said, "Yeah, it's me, Sisco." He said, "Oh, you're Frank's wife." What, Kelly?
Jones Beach.
At Jones Beach. See, this is great. I'm getting help from my daughter here because I'm not on target with some of these, remembering some of these. I'm at Jones Beach. I used to love to go to Jones Beach as a guy, would dive in the water and everything. Now I don't want to get my hair wet, you know? So I just sit there and sweat. So I went to the water to, like, cool off a little bit. So I get to the low part of the water. I bend down, get some of the water, throw it on me. My, you know, insert, silicone insert, falls out into the water. I'm reaching in the water. I don't see it. I'm trying to feel for it. I lost it. I said, "Oh no, I lost that." So I'm walking away. As I'm walking away, I hear a kid yell out, "Mommy, Mommy, jellyfish." I said, Where? $45. Let me get it. And, you know, I think I want to close with this, actually. I think I'm on a high note. Hey, how am I doing, by the way? My legs all right? Thank you. I was at Broadway Comedy, and someone yelled out from the audience. She said, "Oh, you've got great legs." I said, "Oh, thank you. This leg makes up for this nose, and this leg makes up for this stomach." You know, so anyway, I take jellyfish. These jellyfish are a miracle. I love them. I want to buy that stock in that company. Get it right. You're right. That's sometimes what I do is leave my jellyfish around. I want to just close with this. I'm in a store the other day, I see a transgender woman. There's a lot of us out there. In fact, you're not transgender, are you? No. So there are a lot of transgender women out there, and transgender men. Trans men. Let's give it up for trans men too. So I'm at a store. I said to this transgender woman, I'm looking at her Manolo Blahniks, you know. I look at her and I said, "Wow, nice shoes." She looked at me and she says, "Ooh, nice brajol." Okay. All right, thank you very much. I'm Fran Sisco, and my website, I want to thank the LOFT for giving me the ability to have some open mics and for all of us to express one another. And this is what it's led to. I don't know if you want to take part in more of these open mics or not, but I'm having some comedy shows. My website is francissisco.com. So if you could check their calendar, I got 2 shows coming up this coming week, and more parties and shows after that. And hopefully with the LOFT, and with perhaps, I want to recognize my guests here from the Imperial Court. And let's give them a hand. Maybe another affiliated organization of ours. Okay, we have Miriam, Jean, her partner Jean, and Warren, and friend Tom, friend Bob came. Anyway, we don't want to go around the room. And thank you very much, Scott and David.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fran Sisco. Thank you so much for entertaining us. And as a gift of thanks from Memorial Thrift Shop, because you're such a ham, I have here for you this gift. And you too can purchase such treasures at Memorial Thrift Shop, which is right through this door to the left. It's a thrift shop that supports the LOFT and the church. There is a yellow 50% off coupon, which you can use until 4 p.m. today. But if you wanted the piggy bank, it's already taken. Thank you, Fran. So next we have